she didn't give it to me because when I use the loop, I have eight numbers. And you go in here and you expand. Under hers, it has Melodías Alaisas KBSC 19 that one.
Oh, okay, so when she says that.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. And I was, what's happening? No one should get in. Because when I use the loop, and you go in here and you expand. Under hers, as Melodías Alaisas KBSC 19.
I think I'm stop talking. Let me go ahead and just mute that.
Hello.
That's a small town for you, right?
It's hilarious. I mean,
It's
oh, ya la vi dos veces.
Yeah.
Although I have a lot of people that remember me. I figure being tall, blonde in a Hispanic community has something to do with that. There's not that many people my height that are blonde.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, no,
Yes.
no, they told me.
Yeah, I won't tell you how many people whose first comment to me is, my
El
picture
gesto como
blonde."
loco.
Oh, sí.
Es hilarious.
The little arrow.
Oh, ya la vi dos veces.
I didn't tell you.
What's going on? People are coming in. Thank you so much. Okay, usually I'm here an hour earlier, and I was, but I got to take care of other.
Yes, understand.
Thank you.
Yes.
The board members are receiving that InfoSec, the malware tank
Oh,
training.
yes, yes, yes.
The mall-
And
That's,
malware.
you just sent it out last week, right?
Yes.
I haven't had a chance to start. it.
Yes.
But somebody told me that they didn't have to take it.
They don't, it's just so that it can give just tips, you know?
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
No.
because it
So
gives,
just, it's because normally when something like that happens, I was getting ready to send them an email to let them know.
Mhm.
Because it's like awkward. It's like,
Right,
you know,
Well,
you really
yeah.
can't tell. Sometimes you think it's
right, yeah.
spam. or
And we
whatever.
didn't know until after they had sent it either.
Yeah, right,
So,
right.
Yeah,
So then the word is yes, go ahead and,
yes, that
Yeah.
one, yes, for InfoSec, yes. It's not, they're not
Sure.
requiring us to do it, but, it does, so we have these levels, right? of
I'm trying to
user.
remember
Be a
who
lot
told me and I
sooner
think
than
it was
that.
Angie,
Yes,
Oh,
we're
okay.
gonna.
that they didn't have to.
See, I mean, they don't, like I said, it's not mandatory.
Yeah.
The only reason why we sent it out
Right
because
here,
we have
we're
these
gonna-
levels, I guess, of users and saying, okay, so your users are have this much knowledge. And so ours is down here, so we want to kind of increase it, you know, so that if they take those videos, as they're taking those videos, it increases our height, right?
Yeah.
Our rate. And so that's why we said it's recommended, but it's not
So,
mandatory.
Okay.
so,
And it doesn't
so,
hurt because. you get
Yeah,
Just
some-
for
it's
your
a real short video.
Okay, yeah, I saw it and I thought,
Every time.
this
we
isn't
have
the
an
same thing. I
appointment,
don't think that you sent me before, so I'll
When
look
I
at it. I
asked
just
if
haven't
this
been on the
policy-
computer very much the last couple of
Maybe
days.
Names and stuff.
And when I have, I haven't
Prior
been
to
really
this.
doing.
Yeah.
Been playing games.
And then they give
So
really
that the
good
person-
tips, you
person to
know.
person
You know,
Some-
and that's,
that
I
are
should
in the
get my
audience
husband to
can
watch
hear
this. Because he
Yeah.
is-
what are the
He's one of the-
qualifications and disqualifications.
Exactly. So it
Should
kind of
they-
gets you more
or we
aware
can even
of
ask
things
that
you need
question.
to look out.
No,
So it
you
doesn't
do the
hurt, you know.
presentation.
Yesterday, we spent
Are you?
because you're the-
That should be one of the
like
questions.
an hour and a half with Apple.
Thank you.
Thank
you, sir.
And malware, I think it was like, I don't remember what it was. It kept popping up saying, do you want to allow such and such
And so then I put everybody.
Normally, we
you
would
know,
be together here.
to have access to your files? And I
So
kept telling
nobody's
him,
here?
deny it.
Mhm.
But when he denied it, it would pop up,
That's not where he's gonna
he was trying to update
Right now,
something
it's
on
just
his
spread
map, on his map,
be.
and it would stop it. It stopped the internet.
Except
And I finally called Apple. They wanted to, screen share me.
Yes.
They couldn't get on.
Oh, wow.
And, I had spent,
Yeah.
That's why we-
I'm not, tech level, but I can.
Yeah, no,
figure out-
you-
I'm
you-
more
yeah,
computer
you're-
savvy than
We
most
can't-
people my age.
Oh, okay.
We're fixing to call the meeting to order, so we were wondering if all of, I'm gonna call you individually. John Elder, can you hear?
Yes, sir.
Diaz Salaices, can you hear?
Yes.
Limon, can you hear us?
Yes, but my video is blocked.
You wanna unmute? That's kind of at your end. You just have to go in, it's next to your microphone. You wanna start your video.
Actually,
It's blocked by the host.
Let me,
That's what mine says too.
they're all blocked.
So we didn't really want to see them.
Says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. Who was that masked man?
Batman. Okay, I selected the option. You should be able to start your video now. Yes.
Ms. Jose,
Okay,
Ms. John. And we cannot see you, Melodia. So we can't see you, Melodia.
I know. I'm going to select video in a bit, but I am here.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I can see the rest of you though.
All righty.
Okay, good.
It's just we won't be able to see, to acknowledge. So I'd also like for us to call to the chair to be recognized, because it's extra difficult doing it, of course, electronically. And so if you bear with us and help us out in that regard, we would appreciate it. So let's call the meeting to order. Let the record show that we have a quorum. Also, let the record show that Pat Ramirez had an emergency at her home, had a plumbing issue that has flooded her home, and so she's taking care of that. God bless her and her family. Otherwise, all of us are present. So I'd like to ask you all to join Fred Sanchez in our invocation, followed by the pledges of allegiance, led by Kathy Becker.
Let us bow our heads. Thank you, Lord, for another day of life. Thank you for our staff and their families. Watch over the children and that haven't been partaken in person at the Head Start program, but our staff has been diligently working with them and their families. Please help us in that respect, Lord, that everything goes according to your will. Watch over all the staff and their families again, as far as this coronavirus is spreading like wildfire here in El Paso. Keep our staff and everybody in El Paso safe. So I pray to you, Lord, that we keep on with this agenda that we have in front of us for the betterment of our children, not only in Region 19, but throughout the region. Keep all the families and the children especially in a good will. Thank you, Lord. In this we pray. Amen.
Amen.
allegiance to the flag of the United States,
United States of America,
Republic,
To the republic
which
which stands
stands
nation,
under God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice
liberty,
for all.
justice for all.
I got my cheat sheet. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you both for leading us. And we go to open forum. Do we have anyone who's wishes to address the board? Our next item is item F. And we were going to adjourn, as you see, for possible review and discussion of applications received for board vacancy place 6. Discussion of place 6 vacancy and possible board of director appointment. We had personal matters reviewed, which are generally something that we do always at the end. But we're going to postpone, a reason being last meeting as we had, where Ms. Becker was, we were to accept her resignation, and of course she spoke to us, and we actually gave a plaque and so forth in her recognition of her work. However, we actually never voted to accept her resignation. So having said that, directing the executive director to call a special board meeting, which will be next week at whatever time is appropriate for us to meet the 72-hour notice, and so that we can not only do that item, but also item H, which is H, action items on as disclosed in executive session. We obviously won't have to do that. And item 4 was a statement of appointed officer and Texas State Oath of Office. And then also item I, which was appointment of officer for Kathy Becker in place 8. So we'll postpone at this time. And as soon as possible, likely as soon as Monday.
Is it possible to get a show of hands of how many are able to do it Monday at even at 1 o'clock?
Would you check your calendars to see if you can do a Zoom meeting on Monday at 1 o'clock?
Kathy's in.
I can.
Bill Limon can.
It's 3.
I can see if I can.
4. Mr. Sanchez can. That's 4.
Melodia cannot.
Yeah, so we'll have a quorum because I'll be able to do so. We'll also have to check with Pat and see if she's able to do it as well. So anyways, that's what we'll do. And my apologies, actually is my responsibility to have called the vote, and I did not. So I failed this organization, and my apologies to you in that respect.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
if I please. I do have a question on F on D, workman's comp. Of course.
Do you have a
executive
question?
session, yeah.
Okay. So we, at this time, for the purpose of considering matters for which closed sessions are authorized by Title V, Chapter 551, Texas Government's Code Sections .071 through .084, whereupon the Executive Director, at the request of the Chairman of the Board of Directors, will present for the Board consideration or discussion of the following matters. And we're going to be looking at item, which is listed on the agenda as item 3, personnel matters reviewed. And we can go ahead and discuss if anything happens over appointments, resignations, terminations, and workers' compensation. And we go out at 1:41.
Can you keep?
I'm pausing the recording, and I'm also gonna stop the live stream.